What's packing, everybody? It's your boy Godchild, first of his name. This is the What's Packing Sports Show. Thank you for joining me for another video. Today we're going to be talking Packers, Saints. Who is the better team? But before we get into that, I want to ask you to please subscribe to my channel, hit the notification bells, and give this video a thumbs up if you like it. And if you don't like it, don't thumbs down. Just tell me in the comments below, because at least that will still help me look better in the eyes of the algorithm. I don't mind if you give me hate. I don't mind. I want all the smoke, as a matter of fact. But I definitely do want to hear from you guys in the comments, because I like interacting with fellow fans or even haters or whoever you want to, however you want to identify yourself. But the question of the day, like I said, is, are the Packers better than the New Orleans Saints? And while some of you might think that the answer to that question is simple, I think the answer is complicated. But ultimately, no, I don't think the Packers are better than the Saints at this moment. And I know what you're going to say, well, the Packers beat the Saints in week 3, and we didn't have Devontae Adams, and they didn't have Michael Thomas, so that makes it as even. But no, it's not that simple. I'm going to give you 3 reasons why it's not that simple. The first reason why is, like I already said, it was week 3. Teams had not been given the chance to gel yet. Everybody was still getting their legs under them. They were still knocking the rust off. They didn't have an off season. COVID severely hampered everybody's ability to do all of their normal things. Athletes are creatures of habit. They need a routine. People are creatures of habit. Routine equals success because it equals consistency. And I just don't think a week 3 matchup between these two teams was wholly indicative of how good these teams are today or where these teams are at today. It was just too soon to tell. The third, I feel like, bro, man, the second reason is why it was a close game. Even though the Packers were down one of their superstars as well, and the Saints were down Michael Thomas, the Packers could barely keep Alvin Kamara, running back, maybe the best running back in the NFL. They were barely able to keep him from nearly wrecking that game. They couldn't even stop a one-man show. We all remember that run he had where he broke like 9 tackles. I feel like if the Saints would have just ran the ball more with Kamara, they would have actually given themselves a chance to control the clock, right? Manage the game better, keep it out of Rodgers' hands, keep it in their offense's hands, and score more points. But they didn't do that, and I don't know why they didn't do that. They put Taysom Hill in on one of those plays. He fumbled the ball, and that was really the turning point for the Packers to help them really get the momentum away. But it ended up being only a 7-point game. Now, it was 10 points going into the fourth quarter. The Saints were able to score on a field goal late to bring within 7, and they failed at the onside kick attempt. But I feel like if you look at the statistics, low-scoring, close games that are decided by a score or less in the NFL, they don't actually tell you that much about the two teams and how well they match up. Because year after year, teams that win a lot of low-scoring games typically tend to lose a lot of those games next year. And so far for the Packers, they've actually come out on top. So I do think this is a good team. You know, if the stats, a lot of the predictions were that because the Packers had like all these close scoring games last year, like 7 or 8 of them, like half their games were like low scoring, and the other half were like blowouts, that they thought the Packers would take a big step back. They're still 9-3 and have a chance to maybe go 13-3 again. And honestly, I think they could. But even if they do, if the Saints win out, the Saints will be 14-2. So they still won't be able to overcome the Saints. But the third reason that I feel like that the Saints are a better team right now is because the Packers have deficiencies on their team, most glaringly defense. And I don't think if you look at the Saints, they have many, or if any. No, they're not perfect. No team is. Even the perfect teams aren't really perfect, you know what I'm saying? As we saw the Steelers lost. But they, to me, seem like the most complete team. They have a really good coach. They have a really good offense that can be efficient and effective and score points even without their starting quarterback. Do you think that the Packers would be able to score 30 points a game and be the number one offense in the league if they didn't have Aaron Rodgers? Or do you think they would even be a top 20 offense in the league? I don't think so. I really don't. And the fact that the Saints have this Frankenstein monster at quarterback right now with Taysom Hill and Jameis, eat the dub. Like, I just feel like their offense is really good, and they play good complementary football. They have Alvin Kamara. They use him. They feature Alvin Kamara. Yeah, Thomas, who wasn't in the game that game, is a big part of the offense, but I feel like it's more about Alvin Kamara, and I think that's the smarter way to play offense. And then, the second half to that comment is their defense is really good, man. They have all pros at all levels of that defense. They're well coached, and they don't really give up a lot of, big play. They don't have the same deficiencies. They know who they are. They can stop the run. They can defend the pass. And really, if you ask me, now defenses all around the league are playing better. Before week 3, their first matchup, all defenses were down. When you look at it, scoring was up. And even just in general, scoring over the course of the league is up. I remember one point in time, a top 5 defense was like giving up 9 points a game, 10 points a game, 11, 12 points a game, 13 points. Now it's like 17 is like a good defense, you know what I'm saying? Which is a big difference. It's like a whole score. So those are the 3 reasons why. And I know a lot of people are going to say, well, they were both missing their stars. But when you look at it and I break it down, I just think the deficiencies of the Packers defense is what could bite them in the ass here, man. I think this was the thing that could really mess them up. And as good as they can play offensively, we've seen games where the offense stumbles sometimes. Maybe now with a whole season of tape on the Packers offense, the Saints will be better equipped defensively. And we won't be able to rely on the offense putting up 30+ points like we did in the first matchup, but we are going to have to worry about the defense being able to not just focus everything on Kamara, and you see how well that did. They still almost won, and he still had a big day. Now they've got to focus on Kamara and Michael Thomas. And to me, that the difference between how big of a threat Michael Thomas is to our defense and how difficult it makes it for them to defend the Saints, and the Saints being a better defense, having to now defend Adams, I feel like it's a much bigger disparity. And I know that might not make sense to a lot of people. And I know the defense has been playing well, but I still feel like the difference is greater. The degree of difficulty would be greater on our defense to stop a healthy Saints team than for the Saints to stop a healthy Packers team. Now, tell me what you think in the comments down below. Do I not make any sense? Do I sound like a bumbling idiot? Do my takes suck? If so, let me know. I don't mind. I don't mind the hate. I don't mind the smoke. I like debate. I embrace it, as a matter of fact. Okay? But regardless of that, that's my point, and that's how I feel, and that's where I stand. I still think this team is a great team, the Packers, and I feel like they can beat the Saints. But to say right now that the Saints are not the better team, to me, that's just bias. And it's like, open your effing eyes and look at the football that's being played. All right, man, that's it for today's video. Again, like, subscribe, notification bells, comments. Until next time, go Pack, go. And remember, the Bears still suck.